Hey, Build Show Network, Steve Bazek, architect. We are out here at our Riverside project. No wonder why we call it Riverside, huh? That is quintessential New England river. Absolutely gorgeous. But unfortunately, we're not here to talk about nature today. We're here to talk about floor framing. So we got our ICF wall in there. We got it. You heard me talk about the waterproofing. We're getting the mud sill all prepped there, but yeah, over here, looky here. We got our floor framing. So that's right. We're using the Tri-Force. These are a pre-manufactured truss. You can see here, they're all cut and glued in there. And that allows you to have the flexibility to run stuff through the floor. But down here, you see, this has a 3-foot solid end. So with Tri-Force, they come in 2-foot increments, and you can trim up to 2 feet of that, and you have to leave a minimum of 1 foot there. So they put a 3-foot OSB web. It's basically just an engineered floor joist. You can see it there on the ends that gets married up with a truss. And the beauty of that is you get the flexibility of the truss there, and you get the flexibility of the trimmable end here that you can then cut on the job site to fit any and all situations within that 2-foot increment. And you can see these are made in Canada, up in Quebec there. They actually even have the bottoms called out. So and then we marry that up with one of our all-time favorites here. Yeah, Advantech subfloor. So, but this isn't your average subfloor. It looks the same, but here you can see this is their 1 1/8" product. And it's heavy. I forget what the weight is per sheet, but yeah, little boys are not carrying this around. You can see here, it's a formidable opponent there. That's the bottom of it. So yeah, so 1 1/8" subfloor on top of some Tri-Force wood floor joists, and we are going to have a hell of a floor. So let's go back to the studio, and we'll pull out some drawings and continue our conversation. But before we do it, got to tease you once more. This is basically the view from the living room. So absolutely gorgeous. Even on a rainy day or a winter day, this is a beautiful view. All right. I'll see you back at the studio.
All right, everybody. We're back at the studio. Yeah. Hopefully you got a little bit out of that. Let's talk about what we're using on the project before we actually even put it into place. So we got some exciting partners on this project here, where we're using the Advantech, the 1 1/8", and we're using the Tri-Force open joist, and yeah, should be delivering one hell of a floor. So got some information here. Let's break it out. Got Big Red, got my Big Red shirt, and let's talk details. All right, everybody. So see the detail there, and our good friend Big Red. And when we were out at the job site, we were talking about 2 things primarily for the floor frame. One is that 1 1/8" Advantech floor framing, floor sheathing, and 2 is that trimmable floor joist. So you can see it there. Ductboard is somewhere there, and then the trimmable piece is there, and then the open web takes over. And see that there. So
But and then obviously wall framing, we have our exterior insulating sheathing on there. But today we're primarily talking about the components that we're using there. So let's just start out with the Tri-Force there. So it's Tri-Force is the name of those open web trimmable floor trusses. And Tri-Force, it used to be, I believe, Open Joist, and then Open Joist 2000. But the reality is that these have been around, I want to say, probably about 35 years. So these aren't newcomers to the block. They've been around for a while. They've gone through a couple names here and there. But really, like we talked about out on the job site, these are really a synthesis of, you know, we have that open joist that is connected basically to an engineered wood joist. And you can see here, you know, I showed it trimmed back a little. You're limited to about 8 inches that you have to leave. So these trimmable ends, you know, this one actually comes out here, but the dimension of that trimmable end is 31 5/8. So, you know, I would say roughly 32 inches. We don't need to get down to eighths there, but basically you can trim up to 24 inches of it, up to 24 inches, which means that you have to leave about a minimum of 8 inches. And why they do that is that these joists are sold in 2-foot increments, right? So you can buy them, I believe they start at something like 8 foot, and they go all the way up to 30 feet. So in 2-foot increments. So basically, if I got to run through the numbers for you, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, and 30. So that's a hell of a range. You buy them in the 2-foot increments, and you can cut them up to 24 inches, leaving the 8 inches there. So they basically build the system for you in that you take whatever size you need, and then you buy in the next 2-foot increment, and then you trim them back to what you needed. So let's just say you had 17 foot 9.5 inch span, right? We would buy the 20 footers. Is that right? 20? No, we would buy 18 footers. Nope. We would buy the 20 footers and trim them back to 18 foot 9.5 or so. So we'd leave over a foot there, but you'd have to buy the 20 foot ones there. So, but they make it real easy for you in that, you know, you get that engineered joist here, but then you get the benefit and the flexibility of having this open web system there without the requirement of getting this length exactly right on day one. So we talked about those 8 foot to 30 foot. You can get them, their depths are 11 7/8, 14s, and 16s. So 16-inch deep up to 30 foot depths. You're doing some serious building with these. So they pretty much have, you know, all the bases covered. You know, the things that I like about it, not only is it trimmable, but, you know, it's optimizing the amount of wood. When we look at this in section of how hard this thing is working, and you figured, you know, that's the only part that's actually wood. So a lot of this is airspace, right? And they're not big dimensional pieces of wood. You know, these cords are 2x4, 2x3s, oriented strand board in the web. So we're really having effective use of our resources here, and then we're putting it into situations where we can get these things 16 inches deep and span up to 30 feet. So really good use of that.
let's talk a little bit about our 1.1 Advantech. So Advantech is made by Huber Engineered Woods, for those of you that aren't familiar. The Advantech product comes in 1930 seconds, which is basically their 5/8, 23, 30 seconds. You know, these are rounded to their 5/8, 3/4. And then they have a 7/8, a 1 inch, and then the one we're using here, an 1.1 panel. So, and I know some places, they say that these are pretty much available in a lot of locations, but sometimes you can say, you know, we'd build in a location somewhere in the country and they say, yeah, we can't get 7/8, but we can get you 1 inch, or we ask for 1 inch. So check on your availability. The 3/4 and the 1.1 are pretty easy to find. The 5/8 isn't really a subfloor, mind you. I've used the 5/8 inch Advantech as wall sheathing on a number of projects, and it proved to be pretty successful. To put it in perspective, you know, the 3/4 inch piece, well, that comes in at roughly about, was it 78 pounds, I believe. And the 1.1, well, that comes in at a whopping 125 pounds. So yeah, when you start lugging those around all day and start tossing around 4x8 sheets at 125 pounds, you know you've put in a full day's work. The beauty of Advantech too is that it's structural 1 rated, so it's as good a floor sheathing as you're going to get out there. We like it here, you know, in New England. We get ice, snow, rain, all those good things beaten down on our floors, and Advantech really, it takes a beating and works very well. You know, we use the Advantech adhesive. I think we saw some of that in the video there, where we basically glue that, and you glue that so that both the Advantech and our Tri-Force work in what I call composite action. That's what I was taught by my structural engineer professors, in that the minute I glue that and screw it or nail it, right, if I look at this in a section the other way, I get my I-joist or truss joist there, and with that 1.1 on top of it, you can see that that is an extension of my joist, in that floor sheathing there really becomes an extension of that top flange. So they start working very well together, and you know, the load ratings certainly do increase the minute you use that adhesive. And Huber, you know, they have their whole catalog of products, so they make that, you know, great foam adhesive there that you can buy from them. Its cure time is, I believe it's 24 hours for that. And the other beauty of their adhesive is the rating on it has a range of 20 to 105 degrees. So pretty much, if it's warm enough to work as a person, then it's warm enough to put down that foam adhesive. So anyways, we're going to talk a lot more about the floor framing out here and some of the other details, but I just want to make you familiar with some of the components we're using out there. So those Tri-Force, we have the 11 7/8 there, and the 1.1 Huber Engineered Wood Advantech, 125 pounds a sheet. So there you have it. That's our floor assembly.
All right. Big Red is done. Even though, like my new shirt, yeah, it was a gift. Can't lie to you. And but anyways, that's it. Trimmable open floor joists. What a concept, huh? And that 1.1 plywood, yeah, you want a real job? Hump that stuff around for a day or two.
You'll feel that every night. Anyways, if you're looking for more, Steve Baczek Architect. I'm on Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, all over the place, man. Go check it out. I use the same handle everywhere, so go check it out. Give me a follow. Putting up information all the time. Got a YouTube channel. Go check it out. Got literally hundreds of videos here on the Build Show Network. Been doing this for a few years, and I'm right up there with all of my colleague friends on the Build Show Network. So everybody's posting stuff. Man, wealth of information. Go check it out. Lastly, Unbuild It Podcast. Yes, Jake Bruton and Peter Yost, two good friends of mine. We team up and have the trio of a lifetime talking about building. So anyways, go check it all out. Until next time, long live our buildings.